I think what people are seeing is there's a number of different attributes that make this digester technology a solution to a number of different problems. We need an alternative energy source. We need to more efficiently recycle our nutrients. We need to control pathogens. We need to reduce our air impacts. And I think as people have looked around and said, wow, this is a package, if we can fix these problems and get these kinks out of here, you don't just solve one or two problems, it opens up a pathway that's a different future.
We've always thought in terms of mega projects, and I think that dynamic is changing. Small is better, and there's a real need for it. The milk's closer to its consumer, the gas is closer to the user of the gas. Everything makes sense. This model is one that's going to survive and do well.
The benefit for farmers is the opportunity to make a living, to make a decent living without the different types of restrictions they would encounter if we didn't have the Qualco project before us. So, you know, I see it as an opportunity for farmers to grow and salmon to grow.
A lot of people have asked me, what has this got to do with salmon? Because I have a long history of working with salmon and salmon restoration. And I said, I think it's the most important thing I've ever done for salmon, because if we don't change the way we do business in this country, particularly in the areas of renewable energy and recycling waste, you're not going to have much fish and wildlife left.
On the surface, Qualco is in business to produce renewable energy by recycling waste into useful products. But behind its success is a small community of people determined to fundamentally change the way business is done.
There's a huge benefit in demonstrating people of different interests working together. You've got different lifestyles, people with totally different interests who've come together and they want to solve a problem.
Two peoples that weren't used to working together have found a way to work together to do something that's not only good for their own business, but good for the community as a whole.
Qualco brings a wide range of benefits to both the economy and ecology of the region. It begins with the dairy farms. Operating a farm in the river valley involves two primary environmental considerations.
Water quality and nutrient management, those are the really key things to stay in the business. You have to be excellent at them to survive.
Both of these problems are solved by the process of anaerobic digestion.
There is no finished waste stream that we're not using. We take yucky stuff and we turn it into electricity, the solids into a beautiful compost, and then the liquid into a fertilizer.
The digestion process kills pathogenic bacteria found in raw manure, destroying over 90% of the organisms.
And we followed that completely on through even the composting of the solids material that comes out of the digester, and that material essentially was pretty clean of pathogens.
These pathogens represent one of the primary risks in applying raw manure.
If you were able to apply manure which had a high percentage of these bacteria were killed, and you used that manure for crop growth, and you had big rain events, that there would be a whole lot less likelihood of the bacteria ever getting into surface waters.
Keeping the groundwater clean keeps the river water clean because it's all one aquifer, and keeping the river water clean keeps clean water for the salmon. We didn't ever really look at this biogas project as an energy project. For us, it was an environmental project, and it's really helping to improve the environment as well as produce energy and help keep agriculture in our valley here.
If you drive the farms out, they're going to be replaced by something that's a lot worse for fish and wildlife than the farms are. And by working to keep farmers operating and being able to make a living doing what they're doing, and we need farms for God's sakes in today's world, that's a big plus.
The next big plus is energy. Qualco currently generates enough electricity for 300 homes. They produce enough methane for many more.
The engine itself runs day and night. Our system right now puts out 450 kilowatts. We have enough methane potential, though. We could probably do 1.2 megawatts. Excess methane is flared off, which is actually kind of a complete waste, which we'd like to try to avoid, but We've gotten so good at making methane that we're doing that right now.
Methane released to the atmosphere has 22 times the heat-trapping effect of CO2, so burning it is preferable until they can expand capacity. In general, animal farming operations emit high levels of methane, but anaerobic digestion cuts emissions significantly.
Previous work indicates that it could be as much as 60% of the methane that would normally be emitted if you did not run it through an anaerobic digester, so it's pretty significant. And that will help out a lot in terms of animal agriculture's contribution towards, the greenhouse gases at a global level.
We're taking a waste product and we're making essentially clean fuel out of that. That methane that would be released would be going up into the atmosphere. Instead, we're burning it, we're using it as fuel, and so we're closing the cycle.
Qualco is currently considering options for increasing production.
We're looking at opportunities to expand dramatically. We're seriously looking at the opportunities of compressing and cleaning the gas for truck, bus, taxi fleets for transportation fuel, which is an excellent use for it.
Another benefit is their ability to accept other waste products in the digester. Tipping fees are paid by the business disposing of the waste, which adds to Qualco's bottom line. These wastes are kept out of landfills and sewer systems as well, and like the manure, they're transformed into useful products. After nearly 3 years of operations, Qualco is paying back its construction loans and carefully considering the next phase of development, keenly aware of the example they're setting for others.
There's a whole host of reasons why it makes economic sense and just good environmental sense to continue to build digesters. I think in the future we'll find that very little goes in a landfill. Everything is digested.
It's proving that the technology is viable, and it's being done by local men who are not engineers. I mean, we have dairymen and Indian tribes and the fish guys who are solving these problems and doing it in such a way that it shows that everyone else can do it. And I think that is what's really special.
The potential of this is enormous. If you took all of the feedlots, dairy farms, chicken farms, hog farms, and numerous other farms, and got the waste from those animals into a digester, and if you can combine that with other waste stocks, you have an enormous potential source of energy for the whole country. But more important, you're taking all of that waste and pollutants out of the environment and creating energy with it and ending up again with an environmentally safe compost that you can use to refertilize your fields. That's one hell of a good thing to do.